now that our essential person is back. I'd like to call to order the Historic Preservation Commission of the City of Eureka. May we have a roll call?
Commissioner Summers.
Here.
Commissioner Herlihy.
Present.
Commissioner Loring.
Present.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Commissioner Knight.
Here.
And we are missing Commissioner Fair and Commissioner Severson.
Okay. First item is approval of the minutes of our last meeting. The meeting's minutes were distributed with the packet. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, are there any objections to adopting the minutes as they were distributed? Seeing no objection, so ordered. We move into new public hearings. Would you like to give us the staff report on the Hayes fire damage repairs?
Let our Wizard of Oz do it. 1 second. Sweet, thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Assistant Planner Gonzalez, and today I'll be presenting the Hayes Fire Damage Repairs and Alterations Project at 1526 Harris Street. Here's a bird's eye view of the city. The project site is located in the southeastern portion of the city near Sequoia Park. Zooming in, we can see the property is located on the corner of Harris and Q Streets, and it includes a primary residence and an accessory dwelling unit. According to the Green Book, the primary residence was constructed in 1890 and is described as a 2-story frame house with hipped roof and front porch. City permitting records show the house has been damaged from 3 fires since 1970s, including a recent fire in February 2025. Records from 2001 indicate that the rear portion of the house was reconstructed following a fire and included the installation of a new roll-up garage door, living room window, deck side sliding door, and kitchen window. Many of these same elements were damaged by the 2025 fire and are included in this proposal for replacement. According to a 2019 HPC staff report, it was unclear why the 2001 improvements didn't come before the HPC at that time. Despite this, the Commission approved the after-the-fact replacement and reconfiguration of 2 wooden windows along the east-facing facade with vinyl windows, with a condition allowing the vinyl windows to remain, provided that muntins were added to emulate the original wooden windows appearance, as pointed out by these orange windows. And those approved vinyl windows are also included in this proposal for replacement. The applicant received an insurance assessment indicating that the following building components were damaged beyond repair due to the fire and therefore were recommended for full replacement. And they include the roll-up garage door, the adjacent garage entry door, the deck side sliding door, and 5 vinyl, it's a mix of vinyl and aluminum windows, 3 on the western facing facade, and 2 on the eastern facing facade, shown in the bottom right. The applicant is proposing to replace the existing wood roll-up door with a new fiberglass door to provide improved insulation and durability. They're also proposing to replace the adjacent entry door with another wooden door that complements the garage roll-up door design. They also propose to replace the vinyl sliding door with a vinyl French door with large glass panels similar to the large window panes along the front of the home's residence. They also propose to replace the 5 damaged windows, 2 west-facing vinyl windows with custom wood windows that replicate the original design, and in this photo is one of the wood windows that exist currently on the site that would be used as an example. 1 west-facing vinyl window on the garage along the rear western-facing facade will be replaced with a vinyl window with no grid design, and 2 eastern-facing vinyl windows will be replaced with vinyl windows that include a grid design similar to the windows approved in 2019. The applicant understands that the grid design is not a true muntin and expressed concern that a single-pane window unit with real muntins would not provide adequate insulation. However, they are open to exploring, if it exists, a double-pane window with real muntins, and if financially feasible, installing those instead. However, as proposed, the grid design is intended to be consistent with the previously approved permit as it emulates the appearance of muntins. The project has been conditioned to require that the east-facing vinyl windows include a grid or a simulated divided light pattern that reflects the original muntin approved in 2019, and it requires that all work shall maintain the existing dimensions and configurations of the existing structural door and window openings. So per the Eureka Municipal Code, it requires that a proposed alteration be reviewed in light of its effect on the existing historical character of the affected structure as it relates to the streetscape. The analysis in the staff report was based on the Secretary of Interior standards for the treatment of historic properties, specifically for rehabilitation, which involves minor repair and alterations while preserving the historic character. So as described in the staff report, staff believe that the project does meet the standards for rehabilitation as conditioned. Therefore, the recommendation is to hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution finding the project is exempt from CEQA and conditionally approving. Go back here. We have a suggested motion, and staff and the applicant is here if you guys have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of staff? If not, then I will open the public hearing and invite the applicant to address the commission. This is an invitation. It's not a command. So if there's anything you'd like to say to us, please approach the podium, identify yourself, and tell us what you want to tell us.
Just push it. Howdy, I'm Dave Hayes. I haven't come before you before, so I don't quite know how to address you, but good evening. You know, the idea of this remodel, this repair is to, whoa, that confused me for a moment, is to, is anything else going to happen? Is to, you know, as we're cleaning up the house to maintain the original spirit of the house, and even with the remodels and the additions that have been done over the years to try to better incorporate the replacements with, you know, the spirit of the front of the house. And, you know, where we can obviously use like for like, and I'm working with Blue Ox on some of those details. Thank you. That's it.
Any questions?
Any questions for me? Okay.
I have a curiosity question which you may not be able to answer.
Shoot.
How has this house had 3 fires since 1970 and is still standing there?
Well, 3 of the fires were relatively minor, okay. And our excellent fire department this last time somehow managed to stop the progress of the fire pretty quickly. They did some roof damage, but that was no big deal. But they stopped the progress of the fire amazingly quickly. The other 2 fires I could tell you offline how those happened, but kind of embarrassing. Not for us particularly, but probably for the people that started them, including this fire. So, yeah, there's a couple little changes we're making internally to make sure that a couple of these, the potential issues don't reoccur. So, yeah, bad luck.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
In your working with Blue Ox or any of the other millwork and window suppliers in our community, have you talked to anybody about storm windows for your historic windows?
I have not.
Okay. One of the things that I think we are missing in our community, but they provide great insulation value both in terms of sound and energy in combination with single pane windows. So we can avoid removing single pane windows whenever possible.
Good to know. And would storm windows, if I may, would storm windows or storm window suppliers around here be in alignment with your objectives in terms of historical outlook of the house?
Yeah, I think the other commission members would probably like to weigh in individually,
Sure.
But I think they're an appropriate method for preserving existing windows, and they're historically appropriate for Victorian buildings for sure.
Yeah, we're certainly looking for ways to make, but the house is a rental house, and if it weren't, we're looking for ways to make the house more energy efficient. And so if there are not necessarily pre-approved, but some people I could suggest to talk to about storm window designs, I would happy to do that. I'm going to work with all the local suppliers. We have a council of just about everybody, so I'd be curious to do that. I was talking with the heating company today about, similar type interior activities we could do to try to enhance the energy efficiency of the house. So if there are things that we can do exterior like they do in other like more wintry climates, I'd be totally open to that.
Storms were common during the Victorian era, not so much here, but in the colder areas of the east. So they're historically appropriate. And secondarily, they are add-ons. They're like window shades. They do not, they're removable. So they don't change the character of the structure per se. So,
Good to know. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Any other questions for the applicant? Cool. Okay, then
Thank
thank
you
you for
very
your
much.
comments. All right. Is there anyone else in the audience or in the Zoom room that wishes to address the commission on this matter? Seeing no one approaching the microphone and seeing no one queued up, I will close the public hearing and bring the matter back to the commission for consideration. You have the staff recommendation. What is your pleasure? Do you want to put up the draft motion, the suggested motion on the screen?
I remember when this project came up in 2019 and so many of the windows had already been replaced with vinyl. And so while I'm hard pressed to move forward with so many vinyl replacements, most of these things to me, they're a foregone thing. They've already happened. We're swapping out windows that had already been modernized. So I'll go ahead and move that the commission adopt a resolution finding the project exempt from CEQA and conditionally approving the Hayes Fire Damage Repairs and Alterations Project at 1526 Harris.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Discussion. Any discussion?
I'd like to know more about what was resolved in 2019.
I mean, I'm fuzzy on it now, but essentially the windows had many of the windows had already been replaced. And it just, nobody could quite explain why it had not come to the commission at that time. And I think in 2019, maybe something, I don't know if you looked at it, there was something else that needed to be approved. There was like one or two windows, but a bunch had already been swapped out for vinyl. So there, you can't really unring a bell.
Does staff have anything to add?
Yeah, I read that report. From my understanding, initially there were 13 wooden windows that were replaced with vinyl from a previous owner that wasn't the applicant for that 2019 approval. So that those were grandfathered in. They were approved. They were allowed to remain as vinyl, and they were only required to update two of the vinyl windows for the kitchen, so facing the east-facing facade with that Muntin design. Yeah, that was my understanding from that.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. Seeing as you were here in 2019 and I was as well, but your memory is better than mine. Do you have any recollection as to why we required those fake muttons?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was some attempt to make them look more like what the original windows may have looked like, though I still think they're not fooling anybody.
I would agree with you. Was there anything in the report addressing that question specifically? It's just a matter of curiosity.
I believe that it was the same reason, trying to keep in line with what used to be there. There were real Muntins before, and so they wanted to keep that same look.
Okay. All right. Curiosity is resolved. Any other comments or questions? Then I sense you're ready for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. It appears to be unanimous in favor. The motion is passed. I want to advise the applicant about next steps.
Yeah, so we have a 10-day appeal period, and then you'll be able to apply for building permits if any are necessary. And I can follow up with you to let you know what building permits are required.
All right. Anything more on this item? If not, then we move on to old business and new business, nothing agendized, director's reports and communications.
Raylene is gonna report on eurekahistory.com.
So Caitlin's out of the office this week, but she sent me an email and with what we know so far about the eurekahistory.com. So originally, when it started not working, IT lost access to the old Amazon server, which put the site at risk for preventing updates and preventing updates. So BizTech has supplied a 2022 backup. IT rebuilt the site on the new City Hall server. It's back live at eurekahistory.com. We moved it from where it was its previous domain location to the city's GoDaddy, which is saving about $85 a month on it. We may have lost some data between 2022 and 2024 because we had to use an older backup. And I am in my time, or it's on my major list of things that I do whenever I have some time, going through the different links or the different pieces on the site, seeing what pictures are missing so I can get pictures taken. We also have our city employee that does all the ADA requirements now for websites, going through the back end to see if we are compliant with any ADA regulations. So that's just kind of where we're at with it right now.
Okay, thank you. The commission was involved in posting data to it, to the website on a voluntary basis. Do we still have that functionality?
I believe, Derek, are you there?
Yes.
I think what we talked about with that is they could send information to me and we would get it loaded, or are we going to get everybody their own logins? I can't remember what we talked about with that.
It depends on what we wanted, what the commission would like and what staff would like. We could make everyone their own individual account. That'd be fine, with me anyway. It's whatever. It's your pleasure.
Okay. What is your pleasure?
I'd love to help with this project if anybody needs time or photographer out there. The house that I used to own on West Clark doesn't have a picture, and I've got several I could supply.
That'd be great.
Would you want to do that? Would you prefer to have the commissioners to have logins so they could self-help or run your data through staff?
I think it would be a little safer to run it through the staff.
How does the staff feel about that?
Yeah, that would be fine with us.
Okay. All right, then.
And I trust Raylene more than anybody to with data. So
Good. All right. Then why don't we include a note on the agenda for the next, say, 6 meetings, reminding us to add anything we think is appropriate to the site so that it becomes more front of mind.
I'll also send an email. I know you all have my email address, but I'll send an email reminding everyone specifically how to reach me.
Thank you.
and then Raylene, when you have a list of stuff that's missing, we can forward it to the commissioners too.
Absolutely.
Anything more to reports?
That's it for us.
Okay. A query went out to the commissioners asking them if they had any ideas about carrots that the city could offer to encourage people to participate in the historic preservation program. Ideas?
With Caitlin being out, she was going to put that on next month's
Okay.
agenda since it came up while she was here.
Well, I'm going to still ask if there are any ideas. I had one, which is maybe funky, but it would be nice to have a fan club. And you could view that in a variety of different ways. You could view it as people who are committed to historic preservation and want to promote it in the community, talk it up. You could also use it as a informal resource for property owners. The Eureka Heritage Society at one point had a unofficial property owners club where people could exchange information about the restoration process, what they went through, tricks of the trade, things they learned. It might be helpful to have a group of property owners like that to whom applicants or interested people could talk.
I love it. We have this new Talk Eureka website where it's interactive and people can post and respond. So this could potentially happen, and we could have a forum for people to engage on. I just have to run it by the powers that be. But yeah, I like that idea.
It's just an idea at this point. So, all right. So again, think more about ideas. I'd request staff to send out another reminder.
One assistant planner, Henry, he brought up too, maybe we could do Economic Development Commission. They award like businesses of the month and artists of the month, and maybe we could do some sort of appreciation of property owners who are doing a good job.
Yeah. Good idea. Just brainstorming. Is there anything that comes to mind? Any crazy ideas you want to just throw out without consideration as to their practicality or their true worth?
It's a shame we don't have redevelopment funds anymore. It'd be nice if those ever came back that could get prioritized towards historic.
Yes. Would you
preservation.
get us some redevelopment funds, please?
I would love to.
Any other ideas you want to throw out? Okay. Then,
We could go for a certified local government grant, but those are more for around planning, not around giving money to property owners.
Right. But money is clearly a key. If we could
Figure out a funding source. Yeah.
figure out an idea that would provide some kind of leverage for property owners, that would be worth a great deal. Other ideas?
I've seen that some cities recently have been getting rid of their Mills Act provisions, which concerned me.
And I just saw an article about a city that just discovered the Mills Act and was using it to great.
Good.
So I don't know. The Mills Act is of marginal value, but it is of value. Other ideas?
One thing I added to the inland code update I'm working on is outdoor lighting exemption for like historic lighting on listed properties. Because otherwise lighting needs to now be very shielded and and I was thinking when we update the sign regulations, similarly, we can have exemptions for historic signs. Because some of them are no longer allowed because of their size or configuration.
I would love to see some consideration given to the historic value of some of our older signs. Any other ideas? All right, then again, I would like to ask staff to include a reminder after the new year. Well, no, well, I guess we'd have to talk about when we meet, but a reminder to give the idea some more consideration. So we'll have an additional conversation when we come back at our next meeting. Any other reports? I have one item. There's a meeting on Monday, and I believe the topic, as I understand it, is directly relevant to the jurisdiction of the commission, in that it talks about density and development. It envisions the city growing, and I assume it envisions infill and how that can take place. So I'd ask staff to give us a brief on the agenda for that meeting, and if it's what I think it is, I would encourage you all to attend, but not to talk to each other.
Right. Yeah, the meeting is precipitated both by Katie Moulton. She's had conversations with some of her constituents in Ward 2 about concerns about new development and not being compatible with existing development. And when she brought that up to me, I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity, because I'm also working on, at council's direction, reviewing our design review process for new development. And because of such significant changes in state law in the last 5 years, our subjective standards are not enforceable anymore for our design review. So we're looking at strengthening the objective standards. And so we're going to be talking through different design elements that are important to neighborhood compatibility and how to write objective standards for that. And we're going to be polling the audience on those things. So we're going to get into the weed about architectural details, and you guys would be an awesome audience for that. So if you're able to, you can participate in person or via Zoom, and we'll have light refreshments in person, 5:30 to 7:30. Hopefully it won't go 2 hours, but it starts at 5:30 on Monday.
In this chamber.
Sorry?
In this chamber?
In this chamber.
Okay. Good. So those are my reports. Are there any other reports?
Not so much a report as just a reminder that there's going to be a discussion at the library following this meeting at 5:30 about the Green Book.
Oh, right. I just learned about that.
Yeah. I'm going to have to rely on you to tell me what happened, because I've got a conflict.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to bring my 8-year-old with me. I've got headphones for her, though.
That's a very good thing. Inculcate them early. All right. Any other reports or communications? All right. Then we move into the public comment period. This is the point in the agenda where anyone in the audience or in the Zoom room can address the commission on a matter under our jurisdiction. Is there anyone who wishes to address the commission at this point? Seeing no one approaching the microphone, seeing no one in the Zoom room, I will close the public comment period. Is there any additional business for the commission this evening? If not, then thank you for your attendance. We stand adjourned. Oh, wait. January meeting. What time is our when is our January meeting?
I want to say
Really?
it's the 3rd of January.
No, your January meeting will be on the 7th.
Okay. Do you anticipate any agenda items for us to consider?
Yes, you'll have a historic window project coming forward in January.
Okay. All right. Then let's try that again. We stand adjourned till our next meeting.